And again, we're talking about the importance of effort, why you need to apply yourself, why you have to, I don't know, involve yourself, why you have to do things for yourself. You can't wait for anybody to start things for you. You have to kind of be there and basically be the guy that do things for yourself, really. Yeah. And then that's what we have to do. So please do share when you come on with the people that you know. So that they can also get the opportunity to actually be part of this thing that's happening now. Because on so many occasions, what do? We as people, we wait for somebody to do something for us. We find it so easy to feel like, oh, I'm waiting for this person, I'm waiting to get my degree, I'm waiting for I don't know, my brother or my sister to get me this, I'm waiting for the Lord to do this for me, I'm waiting for the government to do this. And we forget that we ourselves can go out there and chase our dreams, we ourselves can go out there and start the things that we want. Even if it's starting very small, it doesn't really matter. You know, you have to be out there and try to do what it needs to be done. Yeah, we haven't got a choice. We have to do what we have to do. But it's so easy. We've become so complacent. We've become so comfortable with shifting blames and always relying on other people to actually kind of carry us along. And that's what we want. That's what we seem to gravitate towards. That's what we seem to want to, I don't know. It's like it's so easier for us to do that. But it's about time, we change the way we think, the way, we perceive other things, and actually kind of try to be better people, to try and kind of push ourselves higher. you know like I'd like to talk about um what's it called, the new president of Liberia. And I'm talking about George Weah. And this is a man that rose from the bottom up. He was just a footballer. People do forget that George Weah was just a footballer, just somebody that was good at playing football. But what did he do? He actually, went out there and tried to, how should I put it? He tried to be better. This guy paid for the JC for the entire Liberian team so that they can actually take part in an African Cup of Nations. He paid for everything. He didn't wait for the government to pay for it. He just chose to pay everything himself. And he actually chose to actually kind of draw his people up, to uplift them. So many occasions he could have easily said, well, look, I'm just a footballer. If the government hasn't got enough money to pay for people to actually, go to the African Cup of Nations or to play in the qualifiers, who cares? I don't care as well. I mean, I'm playing in Europe. I'm sorted. So why should I bother with these people? But that was not the case. This guy actually, knew the importance, and what was important to him was the fact that his country can also qualify to play in the African Cup of Nations, or he wanted to represent his country in the African Cup of Nations. So he paid for the full, for the flight. He went from the flight to the JC to even the hotel to move his fellow players to, go and play in this African Cup of Nations qualifiers and stuff. So this guy chose, I said, he himself applied himself. The effort was there. He put in the effort. See, that's the problem. At times, we don't want to put in the effort, and we want to reap the rewards. It's about time, it's about time we became part of, adding effort to, like, struggling, as in putting, chasing things ourselves, we need to put ourselves out there. We are, we have to show people that we mean business. We have to put, they say, put your money where your mouth is. That's the kind of thing we need to do as people. We've become so lazy. We become so comfortable with nonsense that we always want to be like, oh, the government did not do this for us. This person did not do that. That person did not do this. This man was a simple footballer. Keaton, he was a simple footballer. Look, at 39, all right, at 39, George Weah decided that, look, he wanted to be the president of Liberia, his country. This man wanted to be the president, and he tried. And as a matter of fact, during one of the debates, somebody told him that, dude, you haven't got a common qualification. You have no degree, you've not worked in politics. What qualifies you? What qualifies you to actually, what qualifies you to be a president? But the key thing is, this guy went back to school, got his, his certificate right, got his degree right, and it took him time, but it was his own effort. And the funny thing is, today George Weah is actually the president of Liberia. Yes, it took him another 10 years or more to actually, realize, his dream, but he got there. And it wasn't handed to him on a silver platter. Being the president of Liberia for George Weah was not handed to him on a silver platter. This is a guy that had no qualification. There's a guy that, was just a simple footballer. It's about time, we became more active. It's about time we put in effort into what we do. And it doesn't matter the little that you have. It does not matter what you have. It's about you putting your money where your mouth is. It's about you chasing your dream. It's about you doing what you feel you have to do. Don't sit on your like don't sit around and just be like, well, I'm waiting for ABC. If I had this money, if I had this car, if the government changed this, get out there. The little that you have, use that. It doesn't go do what you have to do. You look. I know, for especially for us Africans, we usually do love the Bible, and we we love religion with a passion, and we like to actually go to church or the mosque or something. And I'll use this simple analogy, of the story of Hannah in the Bible. You know, and at times we are so quick, or we're so comfortable in our skins and in our minds and in all these little things that we're doing, that we don't recognize the importance of some of the things that is happening around us. So Hannah was a woman that was married to at least a wealthy man. Hannah's husband was not a poor man. Hannah's husband was a wealthy man. And the man had two wives, and the second wife, or the other wife, you know, had bare children for this man. And Hannah couldn't, have kids for this, for the husband. And the Bible, according to the Bible, it made Hannah sad, you know, that she could not bear kids for the husband, you know. And these are the kind of things that, you know. And the other woman used that to laugh at Hannah and said, when are you gonna have kids? When are you gonna bore, And it didn't matter what the husband told Hannah. Hannah was always, crying. You know, this made Hannah sad, even though the husband gave Hannah some of the best stuff, in the house, gave her the money, and gave her the best bits of the meat and everything. It did not change the fact that Hannah was saddened by this idea of not being able to have a child for the husband. And the point is, one of the things I want you to concentrate on is that as much as Hannah was sad, she took matters into her own hands. You know, Hannah did not wait around. Hannah did not just, how should I put it? Just take things on the slow and said, oh, I'm gonna wait to see what will happen. No, 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 no. You know, the Bible says one day when they went for Thanksgiving in the temples, Hannah went in there and cried her eyes out. You know, she cried to God. She challenged God to give her a child. You know, she challenged God that, look, God, I need you to give me a child. God, I need you. So she made the effort herself. She didn't go to her pastor. She didn't go to the rabbis. She didn't, I don't know. She went there and had a one-on-one with God. And according to the Bible, the way Anna was behaving even made the priest worried. The priest thought she was drunk. So when she was coming out, the priest came to Anna and said, whoa, 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 woman. I mean, what's wrong with you? This is the temple of the Lord. Why can't you control yourself? Why would you be a drunk, in the church? Or why would you be a drunk in the temple? And that's when Anna explained to the priest, like, look, I'm the servant of the Lord and I need a child. And that's only when that the priest told her that then, it should be as it is that you've asked. But Hannah had to leave her house, come to the temple, and pray on her own. She had to make that journey. She had to put in that effort. She had to apply herself. If she could have stayed in her village, she could have just stayed with her husband. She could have, just waited on the Lord, if you want to call it that way. It required a certain level of effort. She had to move from A to B. Hannah had to make the jump. She had to move from A to B before her prayers were answered. And according to the Bible, Hannah was, got pregnant. And she had a son. And she had Samuel. And see, this. And according to the Bible, if you know your biblical stories, Samuel was the first person to ordain the first king of Israel, which was Saul. So Samuel became one of the greatest, priests in all of Israel. Samuel was the same person that anointed arguably the greatest king of all time in Israel, which is King David. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is until you put in effort, you cannot get from A to B. You want to, you can only reach your true potential when you put in your effort. You can only reach the top when you choose to move yourself. You have to say, no, I'm not comfortable here. I'm not satisfied with what I have today. I'm not satisfied sitting around and being idle. I'm not satisfied with all this nonsense that's going on around me. I am going to chase my dream. I refuse to accept this as my destiny. When Hannah moved from her house and went to the church or went to the temple, and Hannah prayed her eyes out, when Hannah gave it her all, that was the only time, and because that was not the first time she went to the temple, but the day that she chose to give her all, the day that she chose to bare her soul, the day that she put in her maximum effort, that it was the only time that she actually managed to get to where she needed to be. That was the only time she was able to conceive and give birth to one of the greatest, if not the greatest, priest of all time in the history of the Bible, which is Samuel. Look, we at times make tasks or make our dreams seem so big that even making the first step become too daunting that we never make that move. You know, they always say, look, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. But what we forget is, at least if you made that single step, that's 1 mile down. So now you don't have 1,000 miles to go anymore. Now you have 999 miles to go. If you move 2 steps the next day, now you've reduced it by 3. Every day that you work towards your dream is moving you closer and closer to it, rather than when you sit idle. People, it's our efforts that will get us to our destination. It's not by saying it, it's not by declaring it, it's not by, I don't know, being idle. It's not by do what you have to do. About 10 years ago, George Weah had a dream. The guy thought, I want to be the president of my country, Liberia. That's what he wanted. That was his actual dream. He chose to chase that. He was told that, look, you're not good enough. He was told that, dude, nah, you're not educated. But until he went out and put himself in that situation, he wouldn't have known that he wasn't qualified. He wouldn't have known what he needed to do to get there. And when he knew, when he was made aware of the fact that he wasn't good enough, what did man do? He went out there and he got his education right. He went out there and he got his qualification right. And today he's achieved his dream. It's about time we put ourselves on the line. Put yourself out there. If not for anything, you would at least get to know what's happening. At least you'll be aware of what's happening to you. People will guide you towards what needs to be done. And George Weah was able to get from A to B when he put himself out there. And his opposition or his opponents made him know that, dude, you're not qualified. He went, got a qualification, and today he is the president of Liberia. Yes, it took him time. Yes, it didn't happen the day that he wanted it to happen. It took at least about a decade. But that's neither here nor there. Because in the end, he got to his destination. In the end, he got to the place he needed to be. And that's what's crucial. And that's what you need to, do. That's where you need to be. That's what you need to fight for as a person. That's where your goal is. Look, we can continue to talk. We can continue to deceive ourselves. We can continue to sit idle and lament about the lack of resources that we don't have. But when you put yourself out there, at least you might get guidance. At least somebody might be able to tell you, oh, have you tried this thing? Maybe you need to move this way. Where are you trying to go? And then your efforts can be more, pushed towards what you're trying to achieve. It's 2018, people. It's about time, we put our money where our mouth is. Get yourself out there, Even it doesn't matter how small you want to start. Whatever your low dream is, whether it's to start a business, whether it is to travel, whether it is to get yourself educated, you're never too old to get yourself educated. You're never too old to start your own business. The point is, are you starting? Are you doing something towards your dream? Are you a dream chaser, or are you just a dreamer? A dream that is not acted on remains a dream, but a dream that's acted on starts to turn into reality. Let me paint a little picture. Let's assume you want to be married, or let's say you want to have kids. Maybe that's a better word. Let's say you want to have kids. That is the dream. That is the end goal. But you can't stay in your house and have a kid. You have to go out. You have to go out there. You have to find a man or a woman. You have to talk to somebody. And if that person likes you, if you manage to get that person to like you, then you can court them, or you can try to talk to them about your dream of having a child one day. So eventually that person might decide to lay with you. And then when you lay with the person, then conception can happen. The person can get pregnant. And when the person gets pregnant, then you can be there for the person. And eventually, either you yourself, the person have the child. Assuming you're a man. If you're a female, then you have the child. And that's how you get the child. But if you say you want to have a child, and you remain in your bedroom, you remain in your little closet, you remain in your little corner, you don't get pregnant by yourself. If you're a man, you have to be out there talking to a woman. If you're a woman, you have to be out there talking to a man. And that's the only time that you can get closer to your dream of ever having a child. Because by talking to the man, you put yourself out there to be able to be chatted up, to be able to eventually have a partner that will be willing to procreate with you. Please, people, if you do nothing today, even if, in all this craziness of this world, I encourage you, just choose to spend just an hour a day pushing for your effort. Or an hour a day chasing your dreams, an hour a day applying that effort to get you closer to your dream. Just dedicate 1 hour. out of your day to say that, look, I'm going to use 1 hour to put in an effort that drives me closer to my dream. And I guarantee you, by the middle of the year, you see how close you are to achieving your dreams. Remember, there's a saying, there's a Ghanaian saying that if you stay stagnant, you know, you just like you are just I think there's a better saying actually. They're saying, the bird that remains stationary on the tree is the bird that gets stoned. Until you move, you're not gonna get to your destination. You have to move, you know. You have to, be prepared to put in the effort if you want something bigger. If you want to achieve your goals, you need to, be out there chasing it. Nobody will chase your dreams for you. They say, if you're not out there chasing your dreams, you're actually helping somebody build their own. You have to apply yourself. You have to put in the effort. You have to be the guy that's out there putting in the effort. George Weah went from a footballer to a president, not because, he was, let's say, the smartest in Liberia, not because he's the most handsome person in Liberia, not because he's the most, I don't know, religious person in Liberia. No, 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 no. But it's because George Weah was the person that chose to chase his dream. He chose to work towards that. Please, in 2008, in whatever you do, please choose to chase your dream. Choose to, push for your dreams. Effort is the key thing. Thanks again to everyone that chose to listen, and I hope you have a good afternoon. Thank you.